My name is Keisha, and what happened that sticky August afternoon still plays in my head like a bad dream. The kind you can't quite shake when you wake up. I was driving home from my part-time job at the library, humming along to some old school R&B, thinking about what I was going to make for dinner. It was a Thursday, nothing special about it, or so I thought. Then I saw the flashing blue and red lights in my rearview mirror. My heart did a little flutter, that nervous jump you get, even when you know you've done nothing wrong. I pulled over, rolled down my window, and waited. 2 officers got out. One was older, with a tired face, the other younger, with that stiff, eager look some new cops have. License and registration, Mum, the older one said, his voice flat. I nodded, reaching for my purse. Sure, officer. Was I speeding? I tried to keep my voice light, friendly even. Years of my mama telling me, be polite, Keisha, always be polite, especially to them, echoed in my ears. He didn't answer, just took my documents. He and the younger one went back to their car. I sat there, drumming my fingers on the steering wheel, watching them in my mirror. It felt like forever. Why were they taking so long for a simple check? Then they came back, and the younger one, he was the one who spoke this time. His voice was different, harder. Ma'am, we need you to step out of the vehicle. A cold dread started to creep up my spine. Step out. Why? What's wrong? Just step out of the car. Ma'am, he repeated, his hand resting on his holstered gun. It wasn't a request. My hands started to tremble. I unbuckled my seatbelt and slowly got out. The sun seemed too bright, the air too thick. People were driving by, some slowing down to stare. I felt my cheeks burn with a shame I didn't understand. We had a report of a vehicle matching this description involved in a robbery a few blocks over. The younger one said, his eyes narrow, like he was trying to see right through me. A robbery? My beat-up 2008 Honda Civic. My mind reeled. A robbery? Officer, you must be mistaken. I was at work. I work at the public library on Elm Street. You can call them. The older officer just watched, his face unreadable. The younger one pressed on. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. What? No. I didn't do anything. Panic was rising in my throat, hot and sharp. You can't just. That's when he grabbed my arm, rougher than he needed to be, and twisted it behind my back. The other arm followed. I heard the click of handcuffs, felt the cold metal bite into my wrists. It hurt, not just my wrists, but something deep inside me. Humiliation, fear, anger. It all swirled together, making me feel dizzy. You don't have to do this, I whispered, tears pricking my eyes. I'm not a criminal. They didn't say anything. They just walked me to the back of their police car and pushed me inside. The plastic seat was hard and uncomfortable. The cage between the front and back seats made me feel like an animal. I could see people on the sidewalk stopping, pointing. I wanted to disappear, sitting there, in the suffocating heat of that police car. Handcuffed like I was some dangerous felon. I felt so small, so helpless. This couldn't be happening. Not to me. I'm Keisha. I sort books. I help little kids find stories. I bake cookies for church bake sales. Then, a tiny spark of fight flickered through the fear. I want my phone call, I said, my voice shaking but firm. The younger officer, who was now in the driver's seat, glanced back. You'll get your call at the station. No, I said, a bit louder. I know my rights. I get a call And I want it now. I don't know where that came from. Maybe from all those TV shows. But it felt right. The older officer, in the passenger seat, sighed. He looked at his partner. Just let her make the call, rookie. Less paperwork if this is a misunderstanding. The younger one grumbled but got out, opened my door, and held out my phone, which they'd taken from my purse. My hands were still cuffed behind me, so it was awkward. He had to hold it to my ear. My fingers, clumsy and shaking, managed to dial one number. My Aunt Carol. She's not just my aunt. She's a lawyer. A really good one. The kind of woman who doesn't take nonsense from anyone. Aunt Carol, I choked out, tears finally spilling over and running down my cheeks. It's Keisha. I've been arrested. Her voice, usually so warm, turned sharp as steel. Arrested? For what? Where are you? I quickly explained, my words tumbling over each other. The traffic stop, the robbery accusation, the handcuffs. The younger officer was standing right there, listening, a smirk on his face. Aunt Carol didn't miss a beat. Keisha, honey, stay calm. Are they being respectful? Ask for their badge numbers. Both of them. Spell them out for me. I looked at the younger officer. He wants your badge numbers, I said, trying to keep the tremor out of my voice. His smirk faltered a little. He recited his, and then the older officer, with another sigh, gave his. I repeated them carefully to Aunt Carol. Okay, she said, her voice all business now. Listen to me. They are not to move you from that spot. Do you understand? Don't let them take you to the station. I'm calling the precinct captain right now. I know him. And then I'm calling a friend who works for the city council. This is outrageous. Hold tight. Baby girl. I'm on my way, and I'm making some noise before I even get there. She hung up. The officer took the phone. I sat there, still handcuffed, but something had shifted. The fear was still there, but now there was a tiny sliver of hope. Aunt Carol was a force of nature. Not even 5 minutes later, the police radio crackled to life. It was loud, sharp. I couldn't hear all of it, but I heard phrases like false stop, officer conduct, and the captain's angry voice. The younger officer's face went pale. The older one swore under his breath. Suddenly, the car door opened. It was the older officer. His face looked even more tired, and now, a little scared. Ma'am, he said, his voice different, almost polite. There seems to have been a mistake, a misunderstanding. We're going to uncuff you now. The cold metal fell away from my wrists. I rubbed them, red marks already forming. I got out of the car, my legs wobbly. The younger officer wouldn't meet my eyes. Just then, Aunt Carol's car screeched to a halt. Behind the police cruiser, she got out, looking like a warrior queen in her business suit. Her eyes blazing. She didn't even look at me first. She marched right up to those two officers. I couldn't hear everything she said, but her voice was low and dangerous. And those two cops looked like schoolboys getting scolded. Within the week, we found out the robbery report was flimsy, based on a vague description that could have fit half the black women in the city driving older sedans. There was no real evidence linking me or my car to anything. Aunt Carol, true to her word, had raised hell. She filed formal complaints. She talked to her city council friend. She made sure everyone knew what had happened. It turned out this wasn't the first complaint against the younger officer for aggressive behavior, especially towards people of color. The older one had a history of just letting things happen. The internal investigation was swift, probably because Aunt Carol and her connections were watching. A few weeks later, we heard the news. Both officers were fired. Fired. Not suspended. Not reassigned. Fired. Their careers gone. Because of what they did. Because of that one phone call. There was a part of me that felt a grim satisfaction. Justice. But mostly, I just felt tired. And sad. Sad that it had to happen in the first place. Sad that my skin color could make me a target. It's been a while now, but I still feel a jolt of fear when I see a police car. I still remember the coldness of those handcuffs. The shame of being looked at like a criminal. That afternoon changed me. It made me realize how quickly your world can be turned upside down. How fragile your freedom can feel. And it made me forever grateful for Aunt Carol, and for that one life-altering phone call that didn't just save me, but also, in a way, held those who abused their power accountable. It wasn't a victory I celebrated, but a painful lesson I'll never forget.